A 32-year-old man moves into his brother's house. He's been coddled his entire life, gifted a condo, 3 cars bought by Grandpa, never paid a bill. And within weeks of moving in, he's demanding that his brother's wife do his laundry, cook his meals, and clean up after him. But that's not even the worst part. When she asks him to be quiet during her Zoom auditions that could change her entire career, he deliberately screams at the TV. He tells her acting isn't a real job. He says she'll never make it. And when she finally breaks down crying, that's when her husband decides enough is enough. But here's the twist nobody expected. The internet didn't call him a hero for kicking his brother out. They called him something else entirely. Let's get into it. This story comes from a 34-year-old man living in Los Angeles with his 26-year-old wife. They own a home together. She's an actress, has been pursuing it since she was 9 years old. She does auditions and classes daily, and in between, she takes care of their home. The husband makes good money, and the first thing he wanted when he started earning was to give her the freedom to chase her dreams. Then his younger brother showed up. The brother is 32, and he has never, not once in his entire adult life, lived on his own. Let that satisfying sink in for a second. He lived with their dad until he was 24. Then he moved into his girlfriend's parents' house until he was about 28. When that relationship ended, their dad gifted him a condo above his business. Gifted him a condo. And what did the brother do? He trashed it. Didn't take care of anything. Their dad eventually got so fed up that he retired and sold the business just to get away from dealing with it. Oh, and the brother is also on his 3rd car, all 3 paid for by their grandfather. So when this guy shows up at his older brother's door 3 or 4 months ago, begging for a place to stay after getting kicked out of the condo, the older brother already knew exactly how this was going to play out, but he let him in anyway. He told him he had 1 month to get his life together. He set clear rules. The wife was not going to cook for him, clean for him, or do his laundry. The brother would handle all of that himself, no matter how many jobs he was working. And almost immediately, the brother started breaking every single rule. He left messes everywhere, threw his dirty laundry on the floor, and when he was called out on it, he had the audacity to argue back. His argument? "I'm working full-time and she's not." "Excuse me?" The husband reminded him. "This is her home. She's not his maid. She takes care of the house for her husband because that's their arrangement as a married couple. It has nothing to do with the brother." But the brother wouldn't let it go. He kept pushing. He said, "She's a housewife. She does it for you, so why can't she do it for me?" He even asked why his brother gets meals cooked and laundry done, but he doesn't, when they supposedly work the same amount. The entitlement is truly breathtaking. But it gets worse. The wife had finally landed a really good agent. Her auditions were bigger than ever. She was on cloud 9. This was her moment. And the brother? He worked nights, which meant he was home all day while the husband was at work, alone with the wife. Whenever she had auditions on Zoom, he would make noise, and not accidentally. We're talking screaming at a sports game 5 seconds after being told she was about to go on camera. When she asked him to be quiet, he flat out refused. He told her he didn't consider acting a real career. He said he didn't think she'd make it, so he didn't feel the need to care. Let that sink in. He didn't respect her dreams, so he felt entitled to sabotage them in her own home. And here's the thing that makes it even more infuriating. Whenever the husband was home, the brother would listen. He'd be quiet. He followed the rules when he thought there might be consequences. But when it was just the wife, he didn't care. He ignored her completely. One day, it went too far. He made her cry. That was the breaking point. The husband told him to get out. He said his brother had gotten enough free passes in life. It was time to grow up. And that's when the rest of the family got involved. The other brothers called him heartless. They said he was kicking out someone who was struggling mentally. But here's what the husband pointed out. His brother has supposedly been struggling mentally since he was 16 years old. That's 16 years. And in all that time, he's never once attempted therapy, never tried medication, never sought any kind of help. Instead, he just cries, plays the victim, and relies on everyone around him to fix his problems. Now here's where the story takes a turn. The husband posted this to Reddit, expecting people to validate him. And while many did say he wasn't wrong for kicking his brother out, the top comments, they didn't call him a hero. They called him an asshole, not for kicking the brother out, but for letting it go on so long. One commenter wrote, "You knew exactly how this was going to go. You told your brother he had a month, laid down the rules, and let him break every single one. You let him stay longer, and it took him making your wife cry for you to finally do something about it." Another said, "The very first time he said, 'Why can't your wife do my laundry?' you should have said, 'This clearly isn't going to work,' and ended it right there." And this one hit hard. "You're lucky your wife hasn't lost all respect for you. I'm honestly surprised she isn't divorcing you for letting her be treated this way." The husband did reply to some of these comments. He admitted he had regrets. He said he thought maybe this was his chance to help his brother get on a better path. But then he revealed something that changed everything. His brother has no actual diagnosis, no confirmed mental illness at all. The family just assumes he's mentally ill because of his behavior. And here's the real kicker. The brother has been using the threat of self-harm to manipulate everyone around him for years. He did it to keep his ex-girlfriend from leaving him. Every time she tried to end things, he would threaten to hurt himself. That's how he kept her around for years. And after getting kicked out, he didn't text his brother. He texted the wife. He told her he was going to drive off a cliff. The husband said he knew exactly why his brother texted her instead of him. She's his weakness. The brother thought that if he upset her enough, she'd convince her husband to let him come back. Instead, it had the opposite effect. The husband blocked him completely. He also mentioned that while his brother was staying with them, he offered to pay for therapy. The brother's response? He got angry. He refused. A mental health professional actually weighed in on the post. They wrote, "I've worked in mental health for almost 20 years. Your brother sounds more entitled than mentally ill. I'm not saying he doesn't have issues, but he's using them as a crutch to gain sympathy and get what he wants. He's able to work and handle his basics. He just chooses not to." Another commenter put it perfectly. "He can behave when your husband is home, but not when it's just you. That tells you everything. He knew what he was doing." And one more that really summed it up. Mental illness is an explanation, not an excuse. There are plenty of people with the same struggles who don't take advantage of everyone around them. Now let's talk about the other brothers, the ones calling him heartless. One commenter nailed it. "The only reason your brothers are upset is because they know he'll be knocking on their doors next." The husband confirmed, "Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So what's the verdict here?" The internet was split, but the general consensus was this: not the asshole for kicking him out, but absolutely the asshole for not doing it sooner. His wife had to endure months of disrespect, sabotage, and emotional manipulation in her own home, the home she takes care of, the place where she's trying to build her career. And the brother? He's 32 years old. He's been enabled his entire life. A gifted condo, 3 free cars, no consequences ever. Maybe getting kicked out with nowhere to go is exactly what he needs. Maybe that's the only way he'll ever be forced to grow up. Or maybe he'll just find another family member to leech off of. Either way, not this guy's problem anymore. So what do you think? Did he wait too long to kick his brother out? Should the other brothers step up and take him in? And what would you have done if someone disrespected your partner like that in your own home? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, hit that subscribe button. We post new stories every single day. And if you want to hear more Reddit drama, check out the video on screen right now. I'll see you in the next one.